So, the summer movie season is over, ladies and gentlemen. I did my tier list of all the summer movies that I've seen from worst to best. I enjoyed doing that ranking. It was hard work. It was so difficult uploading that video, but finally, I managed it. Now it's time to talk about my anticipated movies of the fall of 2019, or else the rest of 2019. Now, of course, these are the movies that I'm very excited about. If there are movies that you're not excited for that are on my list, that's fine, you can make your own, but this is just my opinion, and I can tell reasonings why I'm excited for those movies. So, you know how this works. Let's get started on my top 10 most anticipated movies of the fall of 2019. Now, let's start out with some honorable mentions. Abominable, I hope I say its name right. It's the new DreamWorks movie that's coming out that looks really freaking beautiful. The animation looks awesome, so I'm really interested to see that on the big screen. 21 Bridges, the new movie produced by the Russo brothers who did Captain America Civil War and the rest of the Avengers movies, and also stars Chadwick Boseman. The story looks interesting, so I'm really curious to see how this movie goes. Knives Out, a new murder mystery film. This looks like another version of Clue, and also it stars Captain America, so what else could you want? A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Tom Hanks playing the most legendary kids show character, Mr. Rogers, who teaches kids very big life lessons. And I think Tom Hanks is perfect for the role. I have not seen the documentary though, and I will check that out leading up to this movie. Ad Astra, I hope I said its name right. This movie is actually coming on my birthday actually, and I'm very interested to see it. This is Brad Pitt meets Interstellar. I love space movies, so I'm really curious to see how this movie turns out. Last Christmas. Now, I'm not a huge romantic comedy guy, but this movie is directed by Paul Feig, and I like most of his movies. Yes, Ghostbusters, get rid of it, but most of his movies were very hilarious. So I'm really curious to see Emilia Clarke and Henry Golding having a chemistry in this Christmas movie. So guys, those are my honorable mentions. Let's get started talking about my top 10 most anticipated movies of the fall of 2019. Starting off with number 10, we have got Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Now, this is Guillermo del Toro's new produced horror film. This movie looks really freaking interesting. I know this movie came out in America. It hasn't come out in Australia. This movie is coming out in Halloween, and I love horror movies, and this movie looks disturbing as shit. This looks like Goosebumps, but much more higher rating. I think that's how I see this movie. This movie looks terrifying. There's so many disgusting scenes in it, and I like seeing movies like that. I like seeing those really disturbing horror movies because that's what makes me scared of them. So, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark looks really good, and I think Guillermo del Toro is going to really well produce the movie, and the director of the movie. I don't know the director's name, but I think he's going to nail the movie. This movie looks like a really fun horror film, and you know I love fun horror films, so this movie looks like a popcorn movie, and I heard pretty good things about this movie. Coming into my number 9 is Ready or Not. This movie, a lot of great things came out from this movie. A lot of people said this is a fun, entertaining ride, and I even watched the trailer of the movie. I'm like, the concept sounds so silly. What if you take hide and seek and make it into a horror film or a black comedy film? But you know what? I'm putting it on my list because I heard a lot of great things about this movie. And this movie does look like a fun movie, so I'm putting this on my list because of all the great things I've heard about this movie. So I'm pretty excited to see what this movie comes upon. Coming into my number 8 goes to Dr. Sleep. This is the sequel to The Shining, one of my favorite horror films of all time. And fun fact, Dr. Sleep is actually a Stephen King novel. It's not made up. This is actually based on Stephen King's novel as well. So this is a sequel to The Shining based on a book he did. And I gotta say, this movie looks incredible. This looks like a really fun, disturbing horror film that kept me nostalgic as well, because it kept me nostalgic of The Shining. It has a lot of Easter eggs in the trailer. Ewan McGregor, I love Ewan McGregor. He's such a great actor, and I'm curious to see him play this role of Jack Nicholson's son in the movie. Also, the director of this movie, he is such an underrated director. He directed Hush, Gerald's Game, all that stuff, Oculus. He's such an underrated director, so I'm really curious to see him develop this project. This is a big project for him because this is a sequel to Shining, and I'm just hoping this movie is great, and hopefully Stephen King doesn't hate this one, because fun fact, he actually hates the first Shining, so let's hope he doesn't hate this movie. That'll be funny if he hates this movie too, I don't know, it will be funny for me. Coming into my number 7 goes to Ford V Ferrari. This is a new movie from the director of Logan and stars Christian Bale and Matt Damon. This movie is about basically these guys trying to make a Ferrari engine into a vehicle and make it the fastest car ever existed. And I'm very interested in this movie because I love cars. I love looking at cars like these cars back in the day. And yes, this movie looks really freaking interesting. I love movies based on true stories. It always kept my interest because the story of the movie actually happened. And I'm really curious to see Christian Bale and Matt Damon's chemistry. I thought the chemistry looks really great in the movie. Like, I think they're going to have a great chemistry in the movie. And it's actually Oscar bait season now, so hopefully Ford V Ferrari gets an Oscar bait because this movie looks fantastic. I think the aspects of this movie look really freaking good. The trailers look absolutely fun. And I just love those true story movies, and I love vehicle movies, so I'm really curious to see what this movie comes upon. Coming into my number 6 goes to Rambo, The Last Blood. This might be the final Rambo movie that's going to come out. I really enjoyed the First Blood movies with Sylvester Stallone as Rambo, one of the most iconic roles from him with Rocky. And I gotta say, this is his final portrayal playing this character. And this movie kind of has like a Logan vibe to it, and that's what I love about this movie, seeing Sylvester Stallone going through age where he doesn't do anymore, and he's doing this one last mission to be Rambo. And I gotta say, the trailers of this movie look like a lot of freaking fun. I'm really excited to see what this movie comes, and I think Sylvester Stallone's going to nail it. He always plays really great characters. He's old as shit, but he can still act. He can still bloody act, so I'm really curious to see him play Rambo one last time. The action looks fantastic. It looks like a really fun, entertaining blood mess. Coming into my number 5 goes to Frozen 2. Now, I gotta say, I'm not the hugest fan of the first Frozen. I still think it's a great movie, but I think it is a bit overrated. A lot of people say it was one of the best Disney films of all time. I don't think so. It can't beat The Lion King. It can't beat Aladdin. It can't beat Beauty and the Beast. Frozen is definitely a very good movie. It has some really good moments, great characters. The song Let It Go, yes, it's a bit overrated. It's not the best song ever, and I think everyone got over it now. But Frozen 2, I feel like Frozen 2 is going to reach higher than the first one was, because it definitely is a different movie than I thought it was going to look. And I gotta say, the trailers look really freaking good. It looks beautiful. I love the animation in the trailer. It looks fantastic. This is another Disney film that's coming out this year, because we haven't got those Walt Disney Animation Studios movies that much. It wasn't that popular now anymore. Like, last year we got Ralph Breaks the Internet, and a lot of people did not like that film. I honestly enjoyed it. So let's hope Frozen 2 brings Disney back on the map, because I think now Pixar is ruling it now, because they made new movies like Onward, Toy Story 4, and Soul that's coming out next year. Wow. 2 Pixar films coming out next year, again, since 2015 with Inside Out and The Good Dinosaur. So let's hope Frozen 2 is a good sequel to the first movie. Coming into my number 4 goes to It Chapter 2. This movie is coming out next week. I'm a fan of the first It. I thought the first It was great. It's one of my favorite horror films of 2017. Now it's going to the Adult Losers Club. I read the book. The book was fantastic. It was terrifying. I'm really curious to see what this movie takes with the book. Hopefully they take most of the elements from the book, because I think the Adult Losers Club element in the book was very freaking interesting. The cast, fantastic. Yes, Bill Skarsgård returns Pennywise, and he was great in the first It, so I'm sorry for him in this movie. But also the Adult Losers Club cast, James McAvoy, Jessica Chastain, Bill Hader. Wow, what an unexpected cast. Jessica Chastain, everyone wanted her to play Beverly, and she's now playing Beverly, and that's really awesome. I'm really curious to see what the Adult Losers Club does against Pennywise in this movie. I don't want to spoil the book. I'm just going to keep it spoiler-free as possible. But if you have read the book, you know what I'm talking about. And I gotta say, this movie looks more terrifying than the first, and I heard the early reviews, this movie is more terrifying than the first movie. So I'm very, very curious to see what this movie comes. I can't wait to see this movie next week. Coming into my number 3 goes to Terminator Dark Fate. Now, I wasn't going to put this movie on this list until the new trailer just came out yesterday. And I gotta say, that trailer makes me more excited for this movie. That felt like a Terminator movie, because I think Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines, Terminator Genesis, and Terminator Salvation felt like a mistake. This felt like a Terminator movie. First of all, Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to return, of course, because why can't you make a Terminator movie without Arnold Schwarzenegger? But also, Linda Hamilton is coming back as Sarah Connor from the first 2 Terminator movies. Yes, forget about Amelia Clarke, we got her coming back. Hell freaking yeah, and she still looks badass since she was in Terminator 2. Oh my god, this movie looks like a lot of fun. Now, I know a lot of people weren't excited for this film, but here's why I'm putting this on my number 3. First off, James Cameron is going to return. He's producing the movie, he's writing the movie, he directed the first 2 movies, so I'm very excited to see him return. Also, Tim Miller, he directed this movie, he directed the first Deadpool movie, and I thought the action was fantastic in that movie, so I'm really curious to see how this action comes upon this film, because it looks great from the trailers. But also, this movie is forgetting about Terminator 3 and Salvation Genesis, because this movie took place right after Terminator 2 Judgment Day. So, of course, I'm excited to see that element in this film. But also we got Mackenzie Davis in this film, and she is badass in this trailer. Also that guy from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to play villain, and he looks really badass. The new Terminator designs look really freaking good. Let's hope this movie brings Terminator back. I trust Tim Miller to direct this movie, and I trust James Cameron to come back and write the story. And yes, he's making Avatar 2, and we don't know where the hell it's coming out, and I know it's hard for him, but I gotta say, let's hope he does great writing this movie, because Terminator Dark Fate looks awesome, and I'm so pumped to see that movie. Coming into my number 2 goes to Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. Hell yeah, this might be the final Star Wars movie we're gonna get in this new trilogy right now, and I gotta say, J.J. Abrams is returning to direct this movie. He directed The Force Awakens. I love that movie, and yes, The Last Jedi was okay. I rewatched it, I'm like, I can understand why people hated it. I still liked it, but I didn't love it. This movie, I can trust this movie because J.J. Abrams, he's a great director and he knows how to direct movies. I love The Force Awakens. This movie looks great. The new trailer that just came out, it's very mixed by other people. That new trailer, I was like mind blown. Especially when we see evil Rey at the end. Is Rey going to turn evil in this like we thought in The Last Jedi? That'll be interesting if that happens, because that could be a new turn for the Star Wars movie. But how it's going to end though? Is it just going to end with Rey being evil or something like that? Or through the start she turns evil, and maybe that start of the trailer thing is just the opening scene. We don't know. Maybe the trailer doesn't want to reveal us anything. Please don't reveal any twists and turns, because I want to go to this movie blind. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Of course I'm really curious to see what the characters come on now, and of course Darth Sidious is going to return. I am pumped for this movie, but it's not my number 1 most anticipated movie of 2019 the fall, because my number 1 goes to Joker. Now Joker, hell freaking to the year. I've been waiting for this since after the new trailer, The Joker, came out, and I gotta say, it's one of my favorite trailers of this entire freaking year. I've been watching that trailer like every single day. I am pumped for this movie. Todd Phillips is directing this movie. He directed the Hangover movies, but also Martin Scorsese. He made Goodfellas, Taxi Driver, one of the most iconic movies by him. He's producing this movie. How can you not get excited for this movie? Also, the thing I'm mostly excited about this movie is Joaquin Phoenix playing the Joker. I think he's perfect. Everyone was like, that is perfect Joker. Because Joaquin Phoenix is a phenomenal actor. He's been in a lot of great movies, and now he's playing one of the most iconic DC villains of all time, the Joker. Now, this is not in the DC Extended Universe. This is just a movie on its own. So, very, very pumped to see that. The trailers look great. It looks creepy. It looks disturbing. It looks very original. Like, I don't think we've seen this in the comics, because I thought it's going to take the Joker story like the original Batman was in Tim Burton, where the Joker goes into acid and that's how he goes crazy. No, this movie took like kind of like a realistic turn for it, judging from the trailers, and I feel like that's a perfect opportunity to make the Joker movie like that. I say the makeup looks great. I think like everyone's like, the makeup looks shit. When you see it in the trailer, it looks like the Joker. You're seeing the Joker on the big screen. Also, Robert De Niro, I'm excited to see him as well. I forgot he was in this movie. He looks like he might play the good guy, villain guy, you know what I mean? This movie looks great. It looks phenomenal. Joker is one of my favorite villains in comic book history, so I'm really excited to see him on the big screen. Let's hope Joaquin Phoenix is the best Joker since Heath Ledger. So guys, that's my top 10 most anticipated movies of the fall of 2019. What are your top 10 picks? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on Facebook, Stardust, Instagram, Twitter. Keep contacting me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, notified for my latest reviews, and have a nice day.